The witch led the way through the trees above Runnymede. It was the beginning of autumn, and the baking hot summer had seared the leaves to unimaginable colours. I followed it down a path, surrounded on all sides by an almost religious ecstasy of oranges and reds. Suddenly, beside what looked like a Romanesque bandstand built within a small clearing, next to a main road and in view of the Thames. The river was swollen, almost to bursting, and it was with the urgency of the fast-flowing water that the witch spoke. This is where the Magna Carta was signed. The American Bar Society erected this monument in honor of that. They recognize the sublime difference that piece of paper has made. You owe a lot to that document. Why are you telling me this? I asked, confused. Although the witch spoke a language I had not heard before, I instinctively knew what she meant. Looking back now, I think this was all to do with the intricate use of tone and intonation. I cannot be sure. I was confused as 5 minutes beforehand I was tending to my small holding next to Bleat Tarn above the Landale Valley deep in the English Lake District. I had moved there after the first religious wars of the 22nd century. A war which saw the forces of reason fighting the combined forces of the recently reconciled and united Abrahamic religions. Things had certainly changed since I was born in 1978. I fought for reason and lost an arm, a wife, and my critical faculties due to a prolonged period of faith reinstilment when captured as a prisoner of war. As a consequence, this meant that any form of questioning or debate was pretty difficult for me. And by asking for a context to the witch's statement, I felt pretty brave. The witch turned to me, its 5 electronic eyes began to blink in unison. I tell you this because we are about to go on safari. could be grown in a simple test tube. I had constructed a small robot to help me in the procedure. But I did not know that I was about to create a singular witch. The likes of which had not been seen before. That was all in the past now. It seemed like a dream as I found myself looking out of a vast swathe of African savannah. It was dusk, and I was reminded of a story of a teenage boy who became obsessed by two lions in a small local safari park. Their cage seemed so small for such proud, majestic beasts. The boy would see himself as a valuable member of an ancient tribe living on the plains of what is now southern Somalia. Not a spotty, lonely, and socially inept single child. One day the boy decided he would free the lions, and armed with some wire cutters he set about on this, the most important of missions, as if it were a rite of passage on the way to manhood. The safari park was close to a busy road, and the lions were hungry. If he were to set them free, he would certainly become prey. This was far from the boy's mind as he crossed the road under cover of night, hallucinating about the freedom of the wilderness, living at peace and at one with all nature. This dream had taken him to a better place, so he did not notice the car hurtling down the road. It hit the boy, killing both him and the driver. The lions were never freed. Matungenzi, said the witch. What does that mean? It had lost me there. It is Swahili for an invention or a wall without a roof, it implied. The witch continued, sad story. I brought the robot, thought we could stay. I looked at the African wilderness once again. In the distance I could make out the deep green of the Indian Ocean, and not a human soul in sight. Let's go on safari first, I said. We have plenty of time to settle down. It was decided.